Hello and welcome to another episode of The Distinguished Geek. So we're another year into Marvel, and this year is a lot of firsts for nearly everything. It's first for new characters getting the comic book series, it's comics changing their names, it's new experiments within Marvel, and the biggest one of all is the first Marvel movie. This is 1944. So in January, Ziggy Pig and Silly Seal, two of Timely Productions' leading funny animal characters, get their own comic book series. It ran for 6 issues, concluding in September 1946. The other leading character was Super Rabbit, which debuted the year before. He got his own comic book series as well, but he had outlasted Ziggy Pig and Silly Seal and ran for 14 issues, and he lasted until November 1948. So Miss America Comics issue number 1 came out, and Miss America debuted the year before in November 1943, and she quickly became the lead title character of her own comic book series. But by the second issue, the comic had changed its name to Miss America Magazine, and the blonde woman with the red cape that we used to know on the front cover was replaced by a photograph of a brunette model called Dolores Conlon wearing a Miss America costume, and the magazine changed its focus on subjects at girls like fashion and cooking, and released a new heroine called Patsy Walker. And Miss America was eventually deleted from her own magazine, and then Patsy Walker would carry on in a range of comics for over the next 20 years. So in February, the first Marvel movie serial was released, and these serials were very much like the series that we're accustomed to watch today on Netflix and Amazon, the big budget series with loads of episodes. But in the 1940s, these serials would end with a cliffhanger with a hero or a character in peril danger, very much like the Adam West Batman series. Some of you may be too young to remember this, but the narrator would turn to the audience and ask how Batman would escape from this situation, and told us to tune in same time and same place to find out how this happened. And these are how the series always ended back in the 1940s. Now, in Saturday afternoons in the 1940s, most theatres would be showing these movie serials, and the leading producer back then was Republic Pictures, and they released Captain.America, the movie serial, in 15 installments, the first one appearing in February 1944. And it will be the last superhero movie serial that Republic Pictures would release, and it was the most expensive serial that the studio had ever made. And it would be 22 years until Marvel superheroes would return to our screens in the Marvel superhero television series in 1966. And these serials will go on to inspire such hits like George Lucas's and Steven Spielberg's in Indiana Jones. And in March, Gay Comics issue number 1 came out. Now, the first issue of this happy comic was to put a smile on readers' faces with the genre of work, and the cartoonists were Harvey Kurtzman and Basil Wolverton. Now, if you remember, Basil Wolverton was the creator of Powerhouse Pepper the year before. Now, Basil Wolverton was also working on another character while working on Gay Comics called Tessie the Typist, which she got her own comic book series in the summer of 1944. Now, in the latter part of 1944, it was the name-changing game where a lot of Marvel magazines started to change their names. And in autumn, Daring Mystery Comics became Daring Comics with issue number 9. And in October, Mystic Comics issue number 1 came out. And in the winter, Amazing Comics became Complete Comics issue number 2, starring the Destroyer and the Wizard. Now, I've mentioned the Destroyer and the Wizard before, and they're not really well-known characters, so I might just show you who they are. So, the Destroyer, you may know from the first Thor film, the big mechanical villain from Asgard, this one. and the Wizard. Going by the name of Robert Frank, got bitten by a cobra while on a trip to Africa and was saved through transfusion with the blood of a mongoose, and he soon discovered he developed the power of high speed, essentially the Marvel's version of the Flash. So 1944 was a very busy year for Marvel once again. It had to change its comics, had to change its magazines, had to change its characters, and even change its audiences to adapt to the readers. Right, thank you very much once again for watching. If you could please like, share and subscribe, and please leave me a comment and let me know how you felt this episode was for you. And I'll leave you with a question just for fun, but the first person to leave me the correct answer in the comments, I'll feature your name in next week's episode. And the question is, who did the Wizard marry? Lovely. I'll see you soon. Say goodbye, R2.
The end.